is what happens. Okay, so let's see. So where the fuck? How do I invite? No, I don't want to invite guests. So I want to go. I think I have to go here, and I have to go. God damn! I swear, man, this is really.
Bobber a message.
So what he? Oh, he's got a message. What do you say?
No, I just sent him one. I said, "Hey, are we live now?"
I don't think it will go live, but here's what I don't know. See, it's the interaction between Restream and YouTube. So I don't know. Well, we're gonna know in a minute, in 2 minutes, if it just starts streaming or whether I have. See, I think what happened this morning is the way I have to do it on UBS. I have to hit create and then go live on YouTube. But I think that's what fucked us up this morning. So I'm reluctant to do that. So if it doesn't work in another minute, I'll know pretty quickly, and then I'll know we have to do that. See, because I think that's what created the problem. I hit go live, but I don't. I have to be able to see the stream. Okay, so it says that it's scheduled, and it should be starting in 2 minutes.
Well, while we wait for that, fucking unbelievable, these auto fibs, man. I'm telling you.
Oh, dude,
I just took another measured market move and just killed it.
It's the dominant. I've been screaming this for 5 years. People, pay attention here. This is the algo that moves the market. Okay, let me hang on. I can turn my fan.
Sure.
All right. So I actually do have to be tight on the exit because I got a 4:30 playing some. It's not pickleball. It's called paddle. It's actually a variation of pickleball.
Oop, Simon's getting back to me. Hold on. Yep, he says all good.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see what happens here. It should be live any second. Oh, there he is. Okay. So, hey, Simon. Oh, good. Okay. Here's what's so annoying. I have no idea why it's working now and it didn't work, other than we scheduled in advance, and this morning we were trying to do it on the fly.
Maybe that's it.
So we are live. Okay, good. So we're live. Okay, so let me come over here. So Jesus Christ, fuck it. It says we're live, so that's good enough. Okay, all right. So all right, we'll get a few people on that. See, I can't see over on the YouTube side. Let's see if I do that. Oh yeah, I can, I guess. Okay, cool. All right, let's hope I didn't just screw things up there. I might have. Nope, I didn't. Yay. All right. I literally have no idea why it works now and didn't work this morning. I have no idea. That's annoying. All right. Well, it is what it is. All right. Well, what do you got up? You got
I got the boss up, man. I'm looking at
987s, right?
Yep. I like 987s on the boss, two different sets of Devils bands, and we are definitely looking like it wants to go sell program. I did just grab a sell, a beautiful sell using the these auto fibs are phenomenal, and the measured move, it just led me right to it.
Okay, good. All right. Well, why don't you? I'll just hand it off to you again. I'll get myself out of here and just tell them a little bit about, because we'll have some new viewers today. Well, there's our regs, right? There's Steven and Simon and the members. Oh shit! I gotta put hey Simon, will you put the link for the members? I forgot to do it. I'm afraid to touch anything. I literally like it's gonna break.
So there, if you're looking at my screen right there, Sam, there it is right there. I went over to ticks because the Renko settings were ballistic. They were like outer space.
Too big, yeah.
So have a look at that, where the price came up, touched the top of the TMA bands, right? So I'm hunting for shorts at that point, and look what comes up right there. and I took that move.
What I like about that, you didn't take the first one. You waited for the retrace, right?
I
Say,
did.
yeah, I'm going to turn you into a retracement trader.
And you might. You'd be the only one who's been able to. But
yeah, once you see these enough, you're going to understand how dominant it is. I mean, once you see it,
once
once you start to see it, you can't unsee it, and then it's all you look for, right?
And I will shut these off so they don't make us bananas, right? But once we got past that, I was like, well, look at this. That makes sense. Look at the McGinley. I checked a few other indications.
Well, also you've got a little pause in the market to the left of that where the market stalled, and then you've got a couple of wicks there so they can grab some liquidity, and down they go.
Yep, down it went.
There's a little supply zone there as well. Okay, so how we doing? Let me see how we doing on. Oh, that's all right. We got a few. Let's try and get since we're off our regular schedule. I think what is important is that we do these at the same time. So if your preference is the first 2 hours, that's fine with me.
Always.
I was thinking maybe it would add variety if we did one in the morning and first 2 hours and one late. But I think the market's usually the first 2 hours the best trading. Sometimes we get a good late day. I'll tell you what. You know what I'll do? I'll pull the I call them members. I'm so used to TDU. I'll pull our customer. Are they customers? I guess they're customers.
Of course.
I'll pull our customers and see if they have a preference to the time. Right? If they all prefer the morning, then that makes it easy. Mm-hmm. So I think we can do a poll on Discord. One of the guys knows how to do it. Okay, so we'll do that. So with that, okay, so we're good here. We don't have a big group here because we did kind of change our schedule. But I also know that the majority of people watch it after the fact. So I will turn it over to you, Skeff. Just give them a quick little intro. Assume that you'll have a few that aren't familiar with you. Just a little brief intro. I'll get out of here and you're all yours.
Not a problem. For those of you who don't know me, the handle at Skeff. I am Mike Skeffington. I'm a discretionary trader. I do use interface automation from Trade Devils to take entries on really fast markets and at times where I want to get like lightning fast fills. But for the most part, what I do is all discretionary. And right now, I basically froze the chart you're looking at by making a change. And I'm hoping that's not going to last. Let's see. Made a change to an indicator.
I'll save you if it does.
So we'll give it a sec.
We can switch over to mine if it does.
Yeah. We'll give it a sec. We'll give it a sec to. It just says calculating, and I can't do anything to that window, which is where all my tabs are.
Yeah. That
but I've been a discretionary trader since 2008. Just had my 15th anniversary, and a couple of years ago, I think it was. Sam, you might know better than me. I was cruising through the internet trying to find a couple of indicators that would make my life easier. I was spending way too much time drawing support and resistance levels, way too much time, just lots of click effort, just trying to do all this stuff that I wanted to get automated to that extent. And I found, stumbled across the Trade Devils website and figured I'd give the multi-time frame support and resistance indicator a shot, and I loaded the thing out of the PC and instantly improved my life. I mean, you saved me 30 minutes a day in the morning, and as intraday levels are coming up, obviously I get to know exactly where I stand with those. So it began a process of trialing other indicators and things, and as a footprint trader of 2 years before that, I happened to stumble onto your footprint chart. Well, that was it. Started digging in with looking into more of the indicators available at Trade Devils, and that's why I've become, a complete proponent, if that's the right way of putting it, of the company and of the product. And getting to know Sam, Irwin, and Simon on support was just icing on the cake. Ninja, on the other hand, sometimes doesn't like me. And that's what it's doing right now. And Sam, in order to get out of this, I may have to reboot. That's what was happening last night. I made some changes to a lot of things resolution-wise because we had some technical issues last time we went live, and I think it was me. Hard to believe. But that chart is as stuck as they get, buddy. Sam, are you with me right now, audio-wise?
I am sorry. I was just getting the link posted over on Discord. Hang on.
Not a problem.
Simon can't do an at everyone. So we'll get the rest of the gang over here. Okay, so you're locked up. Okay, so
I am locked up and needs a.
I get plenty here. I get some good stuff to show here.
All right. So you want me to stop sharing this?
Not to. Well,
no?
I'll do that, and just tell me. I'll unshare that, and then so I can hear you when you get it sorted out. So then we won't deal with that.
You want me to just kill Ninja or stop sharing first?
I can't see your Ninja anymore, so just do whatever you need to do to fix
sweet.
it.
All right.
And we'll see. Like if you need to reboot, whatever, I'll take it from here, or at least until you're back. Okay, so just textbook. God damn, like it's like, come on, seriously, it can't be that easy. Not that it's ever easy. But if we just look at if we just let basic market structure be our guide, right? That's what's right. Look, okay. End of the day, right? This is all the market can ever do. Retrace, right? We're either going this way, which means it's part of a. Hang on, let me do it this way. I'll do it this way. Right. This is you got to embrace this. It seems stupid, right? Like either we're going to retrace here and we're going to go up, or we're going to retrace and we're going to go down. I don't. This seems like pedantic. Like, oh, don't come on. Like, or this is the retrace, right? That's it, right? It's one or the other. That's it. This is the only thing that can happen in a two-dimensional market, period. So what's the point of all of this shit here is to say, okay, when we get here, are we going down or are we going up? That is the entire game right there. That is trading at any degree, at every degree. It doesn't matter what the asset is. That's all it is. What do we do here? Do we buy it? Do we sell it? I think I would propose to you that this, right, as a breakout trader, this is the worst place to enter the market, right? Because you're just vulnerable to liquidity. So you want to be doing it in between. So if you think it's going up, well, you're a buyer here. If you think it's going down, well, you're a seller here, in between, right? It's always in between, never at the edges. That's not where you want to enter the market because you're vulnerable to just being a liquidity grab. So you got to make that decision while it's in the middle of that swing structure. Okay, well, you're like, oh, come on, man, duh, of course. Okay, well, let's go to the markets, right? Okay, here we are. We'll just use the NQ. Skeff's a big NQ trader, and God, it does pay. I will say that, right? So, okay, remember the premise is we break structure, we retrace. So here's break of structure, retrace. Break of structure, it's small, retrace. Break of structure, retrace. Break of structure, retrace. Big power move, right? This is the move of the day. We get a retrace, but it's shallow. But note where these retraces are going. There's the 21 McGinley and my little Gann high low, which, as several of you are asking, this system, we got to just. I asked Erwin to make this for me 2 years ago. I've been using it ever since, and I think all we need to do, it's not like we don't have it. We just have to get a page up on the website. I digress, right? So here's big swing, right? Shallow retrace. So if you're sitting here going, as I was, oh, well, will I get a 50 on this? No, not even close. Probably a 23, but it keeps going. All right, now we get into a squeeze. Here's the break, retrace, right? So here's the low that caused the break, retrace. Now, you start adding some pieces together. Right now, this is a little sloppy down here. So we had a break here of the golden zone. So likely that means it's going to pull from something lower. Right? Could be the 50s, or it's just a break, right? It's just the algos got stopped out here. Here's the change of character. Now we go back up. Break of structure. So at that moment in time, right, this can be such a useful guide if you just dial it in. Okay, here's the break of structure. You're expecting a retrace. Now it can go all the way right to that pivot and still be in an uptrend. As soon as it breaks it, change of trend. Okay, now what are we expecting? Retrace. What do we get? Break of structure. What are we expecting? Retrace. What do we get? Break of structure. What are we expecting? Retrace. What do we get? Break of structure. What are we expecting? Retrace. Jesus, that's annoying to say. It's got to be annoying to hear, but talk about making the point. I mean, it's not me. The market's making my point for me. Swing, retrace, right? Because it all comes down to what are we doing in between? Is it a retrace to go to new highs, or are we going to have a trend change? It's that fucking simple, really, if you break it down. Okay, so what are we doing here? Well, again, try and keep it simple on yourself. Above, what color is the McGinley? Let's start with that. Are we above or below? Oh, okay. Oh, we're above. Oh, I want to keep buying. Right now, you got chop slop down here, but what are they doing? All they're doing here is just hitting this demand zone. So you can kind of understand. Oh, now also, when we come out of the squeeze, right? If you get a squeeze, that's just a bonus. When we get out of the squeeze, what side is the McGinley on? Here's the squeeze. What side is the McGinley? Here's the squeeze. What size? All right, now come over here. Is it the same thing coming down? Oh, here's the squeeze. What side is the McGinley? Here's the squeeze. What side is the McGinley? Squeeze McGinley. Or, I mean, I mean, what else is there to say, right? I mean, it's like right in your face. Like, I know. Trust me, I know. So easy in hindsight. But if you don't dial this in, when it gets right here, next time, oh shit, squeeze, fuck. Oh, I was looking here. You're right here. You've had this move. Oh, wait a minute. The market's been up all day. Wow. Is this really, are we really going to roll over? Well, if you watch the markets enough, there's kind of an ebb and flow to the market here. We run out of steam here, no new highs. All of a sudden, well, what are the, whales aren't going to keep buying at highs. Well, if they want to take it for whatever reason, they're okay. No more buyers, right? Value has been reached. We're a little hot. Okay, so what do we do? Here's the break of structure. Now that's a hard trade to take if you haven't watched this for 10,000 pivots, because you're thinking, oh, we've been up all day. Of course it's going to keep going. But that's where the tools, you've got to lean on your tools a little bit. Okay, first thing, we've just had a break of structure. Here's the change of character. What am I looking for? Right? I always talk about trying to visualize the trade you want next, so that if it drops in your lap, you take it. Right? So there it is. Oh shit. Okay, I'm going to be conservative here because the market's been up all day. Maybe I'll wait till we come out of that squeeze. Here, I don't get a squeeze. Do I need a squeeze? Do I need a squeeze? Well, I'm right into an order block where I just had the break of structure. Here's the strong high that should be protected. Down we go. Oh, well, I missed that last one. Oh, well, maybe I can take this one. Down we go. Here, I mean, you trade them until they fail, like here where it failed. Up, failed. What happens? Trend change. It's that simple. Not easy. Don't misunderstand me. It's not that it's easy. It's not easy. It's never easy. But boy, can this guide you? So at least you're going, shit, is it retrace or is it trend continuation? Is it trend reversal? Oh, trend reversal. Holy shit, look at this. It's telling me what to do next. Retrace. Oh. All right. Let me see if Skeff's back.
No, I'm back.
Still? Are you back? Is it locked up still?
Well, this is the second attempt at a reboot. There is a lot of stuff.
It looks good. It looks fine.
Well, that's yeah. See how it says calculating right up here? If I go to manipulate that, I'll lock that up. Besides, look at this candle. That didn't happen, right? Yeah. So it's prior to loading history at this point. But the good news is,
well, how about your Renko? Is that working?
Let's find out. See how we're not live.
Oh fuck. All right, man. I'll take it back, and you keep
take it back. This one might pop through. If it does, we're good. Naturally, it worked fine all morning.
Yeah, of course, right? Of course, right. The curse of the live stream. Is Trade Devils going to make all the indicators available for TradingView? Oh God, Blue Horseshoe. Well, number one, you got to remember. I think we have 80. I think it's 80 indicators right now. We've talked about it, but my partner, you guys know him as TDI Dev, I know him as Irwin or Baby Whale. He does not prefer that coding language. He doesn't like it, right? And he's right. Nothing happens without Irwin, right? Because he's the brains behind it, the coding, and he just doesn't want to build in that language. So we've looked at some other issues. The other thing with TradingView, and they may change this here. You can't get tick charts with TradingView. So, and their Renko is questionable. It's for futures day trading. Ninja still, if not the best, one of the 2 or 3 best. TradingView is great for 15 minutes and above, but you get down into some of this stuff, not going to be as effective. But I don't think that's going to happen, Blue Horseshoe, unless there's some change in the way that they're coding. They're probably committed to buying script. But that's a fair question. We've talked about it before. Okay, so let me get back here. Hang on. God damn it. Okay. Allergy season. Okay, let me get this over here and let's see if we can make some sense. Oh, hang on a sec. Let me get NQ here. Well, you guys can still see over here. Okay. Let's take a peek. Oh, give me a second. Where is that? What is it I want? I want the NQ here. Okay, this is a really nice example. Okay, of how to work with higher and lower time frames. Now I got to give me a second. I got to get you guys back. Okay. Right. So you can see that. So here's the 4 hour. Now we were just looking at a 1350, which is, that's kind of my go-to with the NQ. So now we see the trend change here. Let me open this up just to kind of make this point, right? Because you see this in line drawings, right? If you're studying market structure, you see it in line drawings all the time, but it doesn't hit you the same way as when you're seeing the candles. So I can draw something like this and say, well, if we've had a break of structure, we can come all the way down to that pivot and still carry on and be an uptrend. If we break that pivot and close below it, then we have a trend change. Well, look what we do here. That's yesterday. We come all the way down. I think we're 2 ticks from it. And then we go up. So the uptrend, the trend, right, from of this break of structure here, if I do it this way, the break of structure here stays intact because we don't break the low. So it's still an uptrend, right? So again, just not to be pedantic about it. Swing, retrace. Boy, that's a deep retrace. But if you were going to buy it, have you ever seen a lower risk entry in the NQ with that kind of risk reward? What was your target here? Your target is the prior high, right? That's you're after 441 points, right? From this low. That's the target, right? This is the weak high, right? Weak high. Why is it the weak high? Because it didn't do its job, right? It didn't give us a new low. Why is this the strong low? Because it did its job. It gave us a new high. It broke the structure. Retrace, deep retrace, right? So now you got to ask yourself, okay, if the uptrend is still intact, all right, if the implication per the swing structure and the market structure, which is that of course it can change, but right now the implication is we're after this pivot, we're after this high. Well, okay, so you can appreciate that we may not make it in one swing, which looks like we're not. So what happened here? Well, that's a very big imbalance, right? That's just a huge, that's yesterday, the sell-off, but it leaves a huge imbalance here, which the market, I mean, you would look here and say, why does it stop there? Well, you'd be likely go down to a smaller time frame. Do I have one here? I don't. You go down to a smaller time frame and say, okay, well, what happened there? Well, we just looked at, right? All of a sudden we get the rollover here. Now this is the retrace, but it's still an uptrend. So now you might look at this and say, okay, let me go to the 15-minute, because if this is going to go up at a smaller degree, right, we've got to get an uptrend here going, right, which is what we're doing here, right? So it's an uptrend and then downtrend, right, and then retrace. Maybe there's some support down here or a demand zone here, and then we'd be looking to get there like that. So You okay, Skeff? You still locked up?
I'm just loving hearing your voice, man. Yeah, I'm looking at black screens basically.
All right, let me get that over there. Let me see if I can get where now let's go to the 15-minute, because you just go down one time frame to the next. Okay, so let's go to the right. Here's the big high, right? We have to break this out. Oh shit, can we see it here? Yeah, here's the low that we didn't break. So as we start coming up here, okay, where's the current positioning here? So here's the last break of structure right here. So the strength is down here. This is nothing but liquidity, right? So if we take it this way, this is the strong low down here. Why is it the strong low? Because it did its job. It's broke the structure. It broke structure. After the break of structure, what are we anticipating? Retrace. What, just, I mean, I sometimes I feel like, God, this guy's annoying with this. Where did we, I mean, it's just unfucking believable. Where did we go today? Golden zone. Yep. So you look at it and you go, why does it stop there? Come on, man. Why there? Why there? Of all the places, why does it stop there? That's why. So now this is it's kind of it's good news, bad news. When that thing is screaming higher like that, it is hard to take that short. It's hard to do it because you're so used to look at the day. You're so used to seeing this thing just rip. Like when it's right here, you're like, oh fuck, man, this thing's we're just going to keep going, right? It's in the back of your head. It's scary to take that trade. I get it. I completely get it. But you have to think of it not in like, oh, fuck, man, this thing's going to just roll right over me. You got to think about risk reward. Where is the target for this trade? Where's your stop? Right there. Is that a good enough risk reward for you? I mean, I'm kind of being facetious, but that's what's mapped out there. Now, we don't know, right? Now, of course, nothing says this couldn't break, right? And we're going to keep going. I mean, there's going to be another one in here, right? Here's the next one that's coming, right? So this is kind of where I started. This is all the market can do. Swing and retrace. So when we come down into this zone here, well, here, let's draw it this way. Well, here's the 50. Here's the golden zone. When we come down here, right, you're going to have the same problem. You're going, oh, fuck, this thing's, it's free falling, man. I can't buy that. But where's that target up here? Is that enough risk reward for you? Is that a good enough scenario here? Yes, many of these are going to stop you out. But look, it's a small loser relative to the time that you hit this, because you will hit it. Because all you have to do is go back and apply the measured move indicator and look at how many times. And I promise you, depending on how much data you pull up, it will be in the hundreds and thousands of how many times that hits. Now, once you've seen that 500 times, it'll make it a little bit easier for you to pull the trigger down here or pull the trigger up here. Knowing, well, shit, okay, if I get stopped out, I get stopped out, right? Welcome to trading. But if I keep setting up risk reward scenarios like that over and over and over again, and I'm not too chicken shit to take the trade here, I'm going to hit one of these. And that is going to offset a fuckload of the little times that I got stopped out here. That monster right there probably cover you for 20 little stop outs plus. It's hard to take the trade. It's hard to do it. So what we do is these little indicators are just here to try and help you. So if this thing is going to reach us, you're like, I'm not sure. Well, fuck, I don't know, man. What's the little tell that you could use? What's the first thing we want to look for? Oh, a change of character. It takes out that low. Oh, here's the little retrace. Boom. Right. So there's a trade right there. Now, am I going to take that on the 15? Probably not. I'm going to go down to the smaller time frame and see, oh, how does that look? But right now, here's the internal swing structure. You want to try and get the two aligned. So this is the week high. If we hold here, I'm holding 1 at the McGinley, 2, I'm holding at the internal low, I'm holding at the IB, and there's a fair value gap here. Now, do you want to take this trade? Well, maybe that you can't see it well enough there. Never, ever, ever, ever ignore these, right? Those little dotted lines, right? Because I promise you that's something that was important to the market. Let's see if we can find what it is. It's going to be it's this pivot way over here, right? Still here, right? Still there, right? Drawing it right here. Don't ignore those. It's the market. That's why they're there, to remind you that that was a pivot that the market responded to. Okay, so what's the play here? What's the last thing? So you can really be mechanical about this, is what we're trying to do with this indicator. Okay, what's the last thing that happened? The last thing that happened is a break of structure. Okay, well, here's the range. Well, if I look at it this way, okay, from the swing low to the swing high, well, that's a monster range. So that could mean, oh, well, all right, I guess there's nothing for me to do until I get to that 50. Could be that's your interpretation. Or you might look at it and say, okay, well, I can see it on the 15. I can see what happened on the 4 hour. Let's go down to the smaller time frame and see if we can get in sync with all that. Well, what's happening over here? Well, here, look, you kind of, if they're side by side, you can kind of make sense of it. Okay, this is this, right? Trend change. This is the smaller time frame changing trend. We go break of structure. We're going down, right, to create this, because we have to change trend on the lower time frame to accommodate the pullback. Otherwise, we just keep going higher. So you're looking for the trend change because of this. Now, are we in sync here? Well, now this is going up, but we're still in a downtrend here. So what you're trying to do is get everybody pushing this, rowing the same way, right? Oh, shit. Okay, can I get uptrend here and uptrend here? Well, then let it rip, right? Then you got room to let it run. You want to be a little bit more aggressive and give your stops a little bit more room, because all the horses are running the same direction. So we need, right, for this to play. If you're just going to play the 15 this is a 1350. Skeff likes a 987. The difference would be so small. What do you need to have happen here? We need this to go bullish. We need this, right, break of structure here. Where do we break structure, right? So again, it's laid it out for you. This is the, you know, there's a real appeal to the mechanical nature of this. There's some subjectivity as to when to take the trade, but this is telling me what has to happen next for me to be looking to get long. Well, I need to break the lower time frame. I got to break the strong high. Once I, right? Okay, not to be silly about it, but once I break the strong high, doesn't matter how far it goes. What am I waiting for? If I'm envisioning the next trade, what am I waiting for? The retrace to continue the trend. Simplification. If you can simplify it in your own mind, which is what we're trying to do here. Look at all the shit on here, right? There's a lot of stuff to make you to fuck. This isn't white. Wait, is this blue? That's green. That's below. Should I buy it here? We're below zero. What about these things? There's so many things to give to fuck your own brain up. You're like, what? Fuck, I don't know what to do. This is kind of guiding you. So then you say, okay, well, now if I'm looking for longs here, I want to see when these guys all line up with longs, not like, oh shit, I don't know what to do next. If you're looking down here, what is this telling you? Well, it's below the center line. Oh, is this a retrace, or do I want to be aggressively buying? Look at the force. It's, hugely blue, hugely above the zero line. These rotate nonstop, right? These are more meaningful at the pivot when you have to make that decision. That's when you look down here and say, well, fuck, okay, where's the delta? Okay, so note, we did not break structure here. So we are still in this downtrend. We broke the golden zone here of this swing. Remember, golden zone, it's going to be there on the next pivot and the next pivot and the next pivot. Like, look at the line up here, right on the side. Well, here, if I do it this way, right, we got a little resistance. We got a little support. That's what the algo sees, right? So how do you choose? I could just imagine a new trader looking at that going, well, holy fuck, man, how do I choose which one? Well, that's what the structure is about. That's how you choose. So now look at the tight little range we're in. You can see it here. Okay, I got the internal range between the blue lines, but the larger swing structure, I'm in this tiny little range. Nothing really to do here. Do you want to buy it here? Well, if you buy it here, you're saying, I know that we're gonna change trend. I know we're gonna change trend. The alternative is to say, well, rather than guess, I'll wait for it to change trend and tell me that it just changed trend because it broke the structure. Boom. Now I'm looking for that. All right. Geez, I didn't mean to get on a rant there, but I kind of did.
I like it.
So, all right. Are you good now?
No.
Shit. I'm out of material.
This might have been a catastrophic crash. I have already restored the database twice, doing it a third time.
And it's just still locked up.
Oh yeah, I'm doing deep dark stuff now. Let's see if I can get it.
Just give me, hey, Blue Horseshoe, just give me the measured move. After all I just said, right? What does he want? He wants the measured move. You know what, Blue Horseshoe? Somebody, because we have a lot of fans, somebody's created one. Hang on. I think it's called, I think if you just type, if you go on TradingView and look for Golden Zone Hunter, I think it's Golden Zone Hunter. I think you can find that. I looked at it. I prefer to draw them myself, but because you got to change, it's based off of the pivots that are there. You may not like it, but give that a try. That is the measured move indicator. Somebody took it upon themselves to create it. I actually, we've never done anything over there, but I have a handful of Trade Devils indicators that are over there, which is kind of funny that people have taken our stuff and not that, I mean, it's not like it's my stuff yet, right? Very, very little there's nothing here that I invented. I just tweaked a few things to make them unique. All right. So here we sit, brokenhearted. Now let's go over to the ES and look at that, right? So this is pretty clear here. We know that if you're trading this, and again, maybe you're trading a different size, or you're trading minutes or time, it wouldn't matter, right? It's the same decision matrix. Before I'm considering longs, I want to see a break of structure, and then I want to take the retrace. But in the same way that before I considered shorts, I want to see the break of structure, then I'm going to consider the retrace, right? Break of structure, right? It just does this over and over and over again. So I think the big the big plus, the big benefit to the market structure, to what we've been doing, is that it tees you up in terms of, because we're constantly like, well, fuck, which golden zones should I use? Well, if you're in sync with the trend, it makes it easier. As to which one to take, right? Do you want to be playing the push down or the push up? You're still going to be wrong plenty of times, but that's why you can do these. That's the whole point of being able to do it this way, is because the risk is so small relative to your target, relative to the reward, right? So very rare. Now, for example, in this push here, it's been very easy to not take this here, because you could have here because you've got some fair value gaps here, but that's not, you were looking for it lower. I mean, if you're waiting for the 50, right? The ideal scenario is to get it in the discount. Discount starts at the 50, right? We never get it. I never get it. Now you had a little, here I'd have been looking. I think I was looking here, right? We had a little pause in the market here, but the market's too strong. But interestingly, well, this is Europe's close. We go into this long squeeze, right? I mean, that's a squeeze for 20, 30 minutes, pretty long squeeze, right? And if you're squeezing, why would we be squeezing at Europe's close? It's a little surprising, right? Kind of suggested, boy, are we running out of steam here? And then what do? They run up here, grab the liquidity, and down they go. Right? Another reason to never be trading breakouts of pivots, right? Because, the guy again, I can't think of his name. I turn these off. If you don't recognize the liquidity, you are the liquidity, right? If you're thinking about taking that trade and you don't realize that you're the liquidity, if you're taking that trade, you are the liquidity. It's just, there's no reason to ever do it, because the whole premise of the break of structure is that it sets up the retrace. So why? Now I know, right? So there's always going to be one guy who says, well, yeah, man, but if I had taken that one, look at that huge move I'd have made. Yeah, shit. Oh, yeah, of course. Some of them are going to run. Okay, well, you keep doing that, Mr. Whomever, fictional person, fictional, what do I want to call him? Heckler. You keep doing that, Mr. Heckler, and report back to me with what your P&L looks like after a month. Yes, some of them go, right? That's the only we need some of them to go, or all the breakout traders would become retracement traders. We need the guppies to be there to take this, right? They have to take that, and they have to get one, or they'll stop doing it, right? That's what the fish do, right? They take the bait, right? The breakout bait. All right. Well, okay. Well, here we go, right? We're going to get a break of structure, right? If we do, then we know exactly what to look for next, right? Not what we know is going to happen next, but how we want to approach the trade of it. Let's see if we get it, right? Nothing guaranteed that we break the structure, but if we do, right, then we're going to go bullish, which would be good timing, right? We've had this big up day. Just peeking over at the ES. We had this big up day, and oh, okay. Well, see, I mean, you can scrunch this up and say, hey, was all of that just part of a retrace? I mean, couldn't you just look at this? Couldn't you do the exact same thing here and say, oh, how does that look? Did we get a gold in there? Did we? I think we, son of a bitch, of course. Why would I even doubt that? 50. All right. So here's the swing. Here's the low of the day. Swing. Lots of breaks of structure, retrace to the 50. Now that 50 happens to be where we broke out from, right? So it was chopped. It was kind of shitty this morning, right? I mean, if you were looking for legs, nothing had legs, right? So it'd been easy to get to be red coming here, right? Because nothing's going. These are, and especially if you're trading micros, right? You need runners, right? That's the only one that really paid you. But here's the whole day, retrace to the 50. Just happens to be the IB. Coincidence? You tell me, right? And it happens to be where that breakout came from, where the big push came from. Oh, well, what are we doing here? We're just coming back to test it, right? As is so commonly done, right? Do you think maybe the people that caught this, right, the whales, right, because it's going to be BFIs, right? It's not going to be you and me. Oh, well, we can defend the S&P. No, right? That's way they're defending their positions there, assuming they want it to go higher. right? Because they move the market. We just try and hang on for the ride, right? And try and tuck in behind them. Is this an algo? Well, of course it is. Of course, right? It's the swing. It's the dominant high to the dominant low. It retraces to the 50. Hell yes, that's an algo. That's what they do. It doesn't have to be the golden zone, right? The 50 is just as common. The reason we prefer the golden zone because the stop is closer, right? The risk is lower. What else is there to say there? Oh, look at that. Interesting, right? We don't break. So we do not get a trend change. It's much like the one we looked at before. You can go right up to a tick to it, right? If you don't break it, downtrend stays on. Still in a downtrend, right? Did not break it, but we left here. So you see there's a little fair value gap here. Now we're leaving a little order block here. So if we come back to that, that's a reasonable trade, right? There's a reasonable, if we come back here into this, right? Now, the reason I don't like this as much, right? So I think that's more likely to break is because look, we have equal highs here. So this would be a perfect spot to grab some liquidity, come up here to this zone here and then rip it down. Remember, there's a distinction between a break of structure and a change of character. Break of structure can do it. Change of character, pardon me. Change of character can be just a wick. Break of structure, it has to be a candle close, body close below the prior pivot. So even if we went wick through, right, which is then it's a liquidity grab, right? If we just go through with wicks and we tap into this supply here and then come back down, well, all they did was just, okay, is there any question about whether or not there are stops here right now? Anybody wondering about that? Anybody unsure as to whether or not there are going to be stops right here? So if you're a whale and you need to grab some liquidity before you take it down, can you envision this? Oh, let's grab all the liquidity, down we go, right? So now remember, there's always, did I say always? Always an algo on the other side. It's easy to forget that, right? So what did we just ping here? 50. What's up above it? Golden zone. What's up above that? Another 50 and another golden zone. So what did we just hit here, right? Do you see what we're doing here? We're just pinging from 150 to the next 50. Right, so it's a little algo ping pong. Who has the advantage? Right, so that's a good example, right? Because we're constantly like, well, fuck, man, what do I take, this 50 or that 50? Which one do I take? Well, how would you make that distinction? Well, you could say, oh, color the McGinley. You could say that. You could use your indicators down here. But how about if you just use the swing structure? We are in a downtrend until this pivot breaks. So right now, you'd want to be leaning into the short side. And I think it's a little better here because that's such obvious double top, right? It's such, which the other thing about doubles is that's where new traders are taught to look for a double and then you can short there. Now, okay, shit, we could fall through the floor. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but do you see the potential issue there? What I would prefer, right, in terms of visualizing a trade, I'd rather see this. Right, go sweep it, right, run all the stops and then come down, right? I know there's a supply zone right here, and I know if I'm right here, right, so here's the golden zone, here's the 50, there's a golden zone right here in this supply zone. Oh, right, so the point is not, okay, well, if we get here, if we get up here, right, and we take the trade and it gets stopped out, it's not like, you can't think, well, that shit doesn't work. You maybe after 100 tries, maybe you can come to that conclusion, but you've got to be consistent with what you're doing. So let's see what we're doing here, right? So still in the downtrend, right? So this is very deep retracement, right? Makes that a hard trade to take. I would have been reluctant to take it because of the double top. How are we doing on time? 2:11. I guess Skeff is fuck, man. I guess he's just what happens after boss. Just a noob. I think, have I made that point? Hang on a second, Sam. I'm going to reboot the PC, so getting off stream, and then we reattempt that link. Okay. So, well, yeah, I was thinking it's kind of fun for me if I'm just watching and somebody else is doing it. I get a little breather. I can just be the moderator. That's kind of fun, actually. Hard to carry it. I see fair value gaps in my dreams. Yeah. Skeff still got issues. Ninja has some server. So yeah, I did. Some of you guys, Erwin communicated that to me. Something up with the servers, the Ninja servers. So that could be what's creating problems for Skeff. Oh shit! I can't tell. We've got more than 3 people here. Oh no, we do. Well, shit. Okay, it's 30 of you. Hopefully that little rant makes sense. Let's see. I can't get to my other. I need more monitors. If one's the live stream and one's the Discord, I'm down to 4 monitors. I need 2 more. Okay. Hang on. I'm always looking. I always feel like you guys are looking at my chin, right? Because I always have these things up at the higher deck, right? So I can keep the charts at the lower deck. All right, let me pop over here and see what's happening in Bookmap. So we've got some size at 1457, which is, that's right here. So we can, if I wish I can't bring it over and show it to you guys yet. You guys are cool. Oh, thanks, Crypto Wars. Crypto Wars is over watching futures trading. Well, it's the same premise, right? The exact same market structure approach, right? I mean, there are some nuances to it that are unique to FX, which is where market structure and SMC, right, really took off. But it's just as applicable. I was looking at it on a 4-hour of Amazon today. It's just the exact same shit, same thing. All right, what are we doing here? Well, okay, so we can kind of look here. It looks like we're trading range here. The market looks like it wants to try and push, but look at all the resistance it will have to fight through. It's not that it can't. Like this is let's see. Let me go over here. What do I got here? 4. I guess we're going to be all NQ today. Well, that's good because I'm usually all ES all day. Where did my 15-minute go? I think it's over here. Oh, we can get the that's MES. Oh shit. I'm NQ. Let's see if I can bring in the. Now, personally, I like these 2 to match, right? So some people don't, right? They might always have the footprint on a 1 minute. I like the 2 to match. So if I'm up here, it's going, shit, is it going to break that? Is it going to break that? I want to see it over here. That's me. Now the trade-off here is these are big bricks, right? But I'm dialing in my directional bias here, and then I'm coming over here for execution, right? So how do we look here, right? Well, there's the strong high, right? There's the 50. So let's see how it does. Now I have the market structure. Oh fuck. Oh, what happened there? Didn't mean to do that. Here we go. That's what I was trying to do. Okay, so here's the strong high at the 50. Here's the fair value gap, right? Here's everything we're just looking at, just in a footprint chart. It's just, you can either look at this and say it's more shit to confuse you, or you can look at this and say, holy shit, look, I can see inside the candle. Right? Which, if you're not used to it, this can create more confusion. All right, so how are we going to deal with the strong high, right? So you can, and additionally, look here, right? I mean, the size is pretty good today, even on micros here. So here's where they started, right? You can see them right here. My guess is they're going to break this because that's too juicy, right? That there's liquidity there. That's too juicy, right? Okay, so there's the break. Now, note what just happened here. This now is the weak high. Do you see how it flipped? This was the strong high, now it's the weak high. Why? Because this is the low that did its job, gave me the break of structure. So this is now the weak, excuse me. This is now the strong low, right? So now all that bias changes to, what happens? What happens after a break of structure? Right? I don't even say it. You guys are going to be hearing that in your dreams. Boss restrate. Need 4 different internet providers coming into your house. Yeah. I have I have Spectrum's fastest which is pretty good. I usually don't have issues with speed or lag, but that ain't cheap. I want to say it's a couple $100. Okay, so here we are. Now look where we are, right? So we are at a golden zone. So this is a little bit, okay, so you got to look at that and say, okay, I'm at a golden zone. Do I want to sell this? Well, think of it this way. Okay, you could, right? Just because it's a golden zone, likely to be a reaction, right? There's almost always a reaction, but there it is, right? There's the reaction. There's the algo firing right there. So do we want to short that? Well, one thought is you might wait for a change of character or something meaningful here to take out a significant low. Right now, every one of these highs was higher than the last high. So we come down here. Oh, now I got a double bottom. So I didn't get a new low, anything to suggest a change of character. I didn't get it. So do I want to short this? It's looking pretty strong. This is giving you from everything, but this is giving you the swing range. So just to be mindful of this indicator, right, will give you the fibs, and it'll give you any fib you want, right? I just use the 50 in the golden zone because the first thing I'm looking for is EQ, right? The 50% or the discount, think of it that way. Well, here's the swing. I'm waiting for the retrace. Now, so it's not to say you couldn't trade the short side of it, but you better really like it and you want to set it up. So you don't want to just take it. Well, okay, golden zone, fuck, I short and expect that. What you'd want to see is some sort of change of character. And then maybe if it comes back to this, you'd have a reason. And then I could sell it with a very tight stop. What you never want to do it, just kind of in the middle. You want to do it at the edges where your stop is so tight where if you get even halfway, decent trade. You're going to take a lot of stops though, right? So you got to make peace with that. It can't be like, oh fuck, I got stopped out, day ruined, right? You got to just roll with a stop. Roll, okay, right? Did I set the trade up properly, right? Was the money management good? Was the stop consistent with what my risk parameters are? Okay, I got stopped out. Next trade. That's it. It can't be, fuck, 2 stops today. Well, none of this shit works. You can't think that way. And the other thing you can't do is you can't be scared of it. Right? At the time when the best trade is the one you're taking when you're most afraid of it. That's likely to be your best trade because the risk reward will be great and the risk will be so low because the thing's screaming up. But so here, this is now set up. So we have an internal low. Here's the last low. Jesus, I didn't think I was being giving a market instruction lesson, but here I am, right? I thought I was killing time waiting for Skeff, and here I'm in a full blown. Okay, so here's the last low. So before we want to think about, anything long or short, right? Let's see if can we get a change of character because this, if we break the internal low, would be the change of character. Oh, maybe this retrace is starting because I had a change of character. Now I'm coming right back in here. Can I use some of this, right? Oh, that's starting to go. All right, so actually, whoa, pretty good rip. All right, what's next, right? In the resistance. Now, see, you look at it and you think, oh, well, there's the resistance. Okay, but where's the trend, right? The trend now is up, right? Here's the last break of structure. So as it sits right now, if you want to be disciplined about it, if you just want to be a Yahoo and trade, well, it's easy to do that. I don't know how profitable you're going to be, but right now you're kind of waiting for the retrace. Boy, there's a song in there somewhere. Remember what is the algo all it sees is this, right? That's all it sees, right? It's already come and gone, right? That doesn't matter to it anymore. It's going to use it's always going to use. You can always count on that, but it's also right using here's the golden zone from the top. Right, I gotta remind you, right? Because you get blind, you get blind to it. You're like you forget. Oh shit! Look, oh fuck! I forgot about that one. Right, always an algo on the other side. Where did we just stop? This is what moves the market. This is how it moves. It's what it moves to and from. Excuse me. So I say to you, after seeing this as many times, fuck, if I put the measurement on, if you see this enough times, wouldn't that be something you'd want to check? Wouldn't that be the first thing? Like, oh, okay, well, what did the algo do last? Right? That's the first thing I'm looking for. What did it do last? So I know, okay, where am I? Shit. Okay, I'm at a 50 here. Well, now I've got kind of mixed signals here. I've hit the 50 which has a target down here, but the trend is now up. Remember, we want everybody rolling the boat the same direction. So I've got kind of mixed signals here. What I want, if I'm visualizing, right, next trade I want, right here, I want this one. Right now, remember, if I'm taking this trade, I'm assuming that the bulls are going to win here. Why can I make that assumption, even though I'm staring at a 50 in a golden zone? Because of the swing structure. That's telling me that the bulls have that's all you can say, right? It's bull's ball, right? They've got a first down, right? They broke structure. Okay, well, now, okay, they may have to punt if we stay with the football analogy. They may have to punt if we come down here, but as it is right now, it's their ball. Right. So they can retrace down here, 3rd and long. Oh, okay. We got it. I don't know how I got on a football analogy, but I did. Okay. Let's just so you see it. Right. Just to I go up to the 4181 here. I like this on the ES. So I get kind of a clean. So let me take this off. All right. So it's kind of a clean. I'm looking for that swing structure, right? It's twice the size. So it's closer to probably a 5 minute. Closer to a 5 minute, right? So here's where we are, right? Here's the day. So what's the last thing that happened? Break of structure right here. So this is this can be useful too. This is our zigzag, our order flow zigzag. So it only breaks if I get it only gives me a new pivot or a downswing here if I go 2 times the ATR, right? So to break this right here, here's a retrace, but it did not go 2 times the ATR. So this entire move, no retrace in the whole thing that was more than 2 times the ATR, right? Until I get to here. Right, here's the perfect retrace. So now here's my new range, internal low. Note the internal high and the weak high are the same. So after that trend change, now it didn't quite, go as low as I would have liked, right? So okay, fuck, so the trade doesn't, it's not offered where you wanted it, right at the IB. Bummer. Okay, so you wait. What I was going to try and show you over here is, this can be useful here. I started a video doing this the other day where you just make the bars invisible. And then it looks like the same line drawing you've seen 1,000 times. Like, oh, fuck. All right. Yeah. Well, yeah, it gets harder once the candles are in there. But at the end of the day, if you're just tracking the swings of that zigzag, you can see the market structure happening and unfold. Here's where I was going. Okay. So how many do you look at it and you think, well, okay, well, yeah, there's probably a few measured moves in there. You think there are a few? Let's see how many there are. Just in what I can see here, right? Now, every time you see this, right? Every one of these, if it's still on the chart, is hit its target, right? So here, this is, let's call it a 5 minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 that I can see right here. 7 times we hit on a 4184, right? Probably more than that. If I go back. All right. I am saying this in all sincerity. I challenge you to show me an indicator, anything, an algo, I don't care what it is, that hits that many times. If I start counting these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 that I can see here. You can't do it, right? That's why I could bet money on that, right? You can't do it. You can't show me an indicator that does that because there is nothing else that does that, at least that I know of. Now, I'm not saying at Goldman Sachs they don't have in-house algos that are, do circles around this. But for us as a retail trader, there is nothing else we can look at that tracks what the algos are doing because it leaves this simple. It's so fucking simple. That's what makes it. You think, oh, come on, man. It can't be that simple. There it is right there. That's what it is. That's all it is, which is, by the way, all the market can do. That's all it can do. Pick your spot, right? That's it. That should make you at least think, God, man, I kind of would want to know where that is because what do you absolutely not want to do? Here, it's going to, market's cooperating here. What do you not want to do? you don't want to buy right fucking into it, right? You don't want to do that, right there, right? Now, I promise you someone's going to buy that, right? But they don't know it's there. Now, that doesn't, when I say that, doesn't mean we couldn't just launch here and just blow right through it. I'm just saying again, if you do this repeatedly, you're going to have a bad experience in the market. That's not a good place to be entering along at the golden zone. It may go through, right? Just like a break of structure. Okay, it may rip, but over time, that's not the trade you want. I don't care. I don't care what happens here. I would never take that trade because I've seen this hit. I mean, I use the minefield analogy. If you're buying that, you're just skipping through a minefield with blindfolds on. Oh, well, maybe I step on something, maybe I don't. Well, let's hope I don't. La-di-da. Right? That's what you're doing. You're just blindly stepping on mines. Now, again, maybe it doesn't go off. Maybe you get lucky and it just keeps going. Do you want to trade? Is that your trading plan? Well, I fucking hope I get lucky today. I'm going to guess not. That's a lot of measured moves, and that's just me picking the 4181. If I took this down to a 512, there'd probably be 200 on here. Let's see. Right now it's hitting a little order block here at a golden zone, right? So it makes it all the more. So you say, oh, well, order block and a golden zone. Boy, I really am uncomfortable buying that. Where do I want to buy it? Right? If I could, right? If it was offered, swing, right? Now, if it breaks, fine. If it breaks, here's where I want to buy it, because what am I looking for? That. Hopefully that's helpful. Oh, let's see, right? So let's see how it handles that. It has to close above to kill the algo, right? Wick going through doesn't do it, right? It's got to be it's just like a break of structure, right? It's got to close above, right, to kill the algo. I've seen them wick through and then still go right to target. Struggle. Right now, if you bought it there, well, this is a 41 anyway. If you bought it there and it was wiggling a little bit, you're going to be a little uncomfortable. Oh, let's see. Well, this is ES. I'm looking at bookmap over here. It's trying to get through. Trying to get through. All right. Now, here's another thing to be careful of. If you just bought this, what you don't want to do equally, right, is let it break and say, "Oh, I'll buy it now." That'll do that. Or if it breaks it, listen, breaking it is good news, because these things are a pain in the ass, right? If you're in that long, it's like, oh fuck, there's another golden zone there. It can ruin a trade, right? Because it's a little fucker. Like, you can't clear it. Do I take it? Do I get out? It's better news when it breaks, because look, if it breaks, then this is wide open. There's no algo to fight you. So if it breaks, what you want is the retrace, because now you don't have it up there fighting you. So it's open. We may go, right? Well, it's just fine. That's the good news. Right now, once we close up here, this will go away because it's not active anymore. Right? And these will be the new ones. See how what am I on? That's the MES. Let me get there is some pretty good size up. Oh, that's NQ. Let's get. Oh, it's open, right? It's open all the way to the pivot. Right? I'm just looking at book. I'm looking at the book. Hang on. It's wide open up here, all the way to this pivot. No resistance in the book, but still, that's just for me. I don't buy them that extended. Right? It's too easy for that to come back on you. That's just me. I don't buy. I don't. That's you can just feel like, oh fuck, man. Still, you're gonna keep that going. Really, at some point, you're gonna need the temptation to take profit from those that caught it will just be overwhelming. Let's get back here. What's happening with the NQ? We didn't move very far. I'll keep an eye on that. All right, so here's the little brown. Let's get rid of these guys. All right, next up, POC, golden zone from the top. Right, trend is up. So I'm not looking for it to be an aggressive seller. Now, again, since we're these live streams, we do micros. It's possibly there's a scalp, right? If you're in full size, can't scalp in micros. So you gotta look for swing trades. Shit, did I lose you guys? Sometimes it's a long, torturous journey, but they hit. Yeah, that's very true. Sometimes the hard part in those is keeping your hands off your mouse, right? That's the hard part. It's wide open to the high. Wide open to the high in the ES. What do we got over here? Let's watch the NQ. Oh, this got a little wonky. We could watch. Pretty good kick here. So they left that behind. That's good news. That's what we want. We want the retrace. You look here. All right, this is what I was trading off this morning. Here, that's right. Here, we can take all this stuff off. All right, here's the double bottom. Swing, retrace, swing. Right. So that, remember, we're always kind of looking for threes. Here's a three. Right. Here's a three. Right. Looking for the swing. Right. Again, that's all it can do. Swing, retrace, swing, retrace. All right. So you want to try and dial into that, right? Do I have a three that's completing? This would be, that's the week high. Also liquidity. Another point, Rich. It's hard not to repeat yourself, but I know different people hear me at different times. Hang on. God damn. Excuse me. So you look here and you go, oh shit. Well, there's going to be stops up there. Well, okay. So you're vulnerable to the liquidity grab. You always want to go into these kind of significant pivots with house money. So the idea being, if we came here and we retrace, now if you're going into it, you still have that same, oh shit, there could be a liquidity grab up here, but at least you're going into it with house money, right? As opposed to, oh, I'm going to wait till I get there, then I'm going to buy it, right? Then, right. If you're not sure, if you've never had an M or a W get tattooed on your ass, right? That's what they look like. That's why you want to avoid them, right? There's your classic M, right? Same thing on the bottom. You get a W, right? It's a market maker pattern, right? They know that. Well, is there anyone who doesn't think that there's liquidity up here? No, everybody knows that. So what are we going to do about it? Is the question. Well, I wouldn't buy it, but it's the same thing. It's the same process. If you're a retracement trader, it's the same thing. You're just going, oh, okay. Well, if we're just going to go up here and break structure, no problem. I'm going to wait for the retrace, right? Because I want to get in one of these series. Swing, retrace, swing. I want to get in one of those where it goes, oh, break, fuck, break. Oh, shit, break. Oh, God, it's going again, right? That's the one you're loving your day all day long. Oh, break, retrace, break, retrace, break, retrace. Right, the little changes of character. Here I have those labeled here. Just tells you like, oh, okay, if this thing's going to start to come down, what's the first signal that it's weakening? Took out that low. Took out this low. Oh, well, this had been, look, every high, every low is higher. All of a sudden, wait a minute. Oh, that's a change. That's a change, right? Liquidity grab. Change. Double bottom. Shit. Oh, my paddle game got canceled because of the rain. It's raining here. Oh, is this rude? I shouldn't be doing this, right? It was just the 4 guys we were going to play today. They just told me I was canceled. I was telling them that I got the message. All right. You got any? Oh shit! Who we got here? How many people we have here? I probably bored everybody to death. Let's see. Oh, I can't see. Oh, there we go. Oh, we got a few people. Any change over here? No change. No change on the higher time frames. This is MES. This is mighty close, right? Same thing here, right? Did not break. So interesting, right? We saw this in the higher time frame on the NQ. Here's the low. Here's the break of structure. We come all the way back down, and we do not change trend, right? We hold, right? This is the strong low. It holds. It's defended, right? And up we go, right? So now this low, pardon me, it's still this low, has a job to do. It's to break that, right? Once it does that, then all right, we're going to run out of time. I get you. Oh, wait, is Skeff back? Skeff's back. Hang on. Oh, be nice. Oh, shit, he's not back. Looked like he was back. I was going to hand it off to him. I don't know if he's around or if he can hear me. Maybe he needs a, hang on, he might need a new link. I've been working nonstop. Ninja's having feed issues, known issues, attempting to resolve. All right, shit. Well, I don't mind. It's not that I mind doing it. I just wasn't really, I didn't really have everything prepped for it, but so be it. Well, it's a little bit of hurry up and wait here. You can see the range we're in. I mean, can we define the range any better? We can use a little price action theory here. I just build that channel here. Right, you guys, many of you guys trade the Pat's indicator, right? You see here, there's no second entries, nothing, right? And now as soon as I draw this, they start to show up, right? Because now we're at key entry points. That would have been iffy, right? Because you're below the McGinley. Here's a good one. Good sell. These can play nicely for those of you that are that really love the Pat's indicator. They can play nicely with the market structure, right? So, oh, okay, if I'm taking this right after a change of character, or if I'm taking this second entry long, well, that might have helped you, because here's the swing you're in, and you're like, oh, you're waiting for the 50. Oh, the 50 was down here, you didn't get it. Oh, but I got a second entry long. Oh, maybe I can take that. Now, these are, again, the Pat's indicator is a scalping tool. So it's not ideal for, excuse me, not ideal for micros. But, I mean, depending on what your price point is, I mean, I'll trade 5 lots, 10 lots in micros sometimes, but I usually don't start there. That's the beauty of micros, is you can start with 2, add 2 more. Oh, you like it? Oh, I'm going to add 2 more. Or if it comes down, we're retesting support, you can average down your price, and it's not so dramatic to the impact of your account. I think there's huge advantages because you can trade multiples. You can peel some off, I think it's almost impossible. I mean, people do it, but almost impossible to be successful trading single lots over time. Very hard to do, right? You don't have any flexibility. So you want to trade multiples, 3 to 5 these are good numbers. You're trading 3 lots in the NQ and you have a bad day. Boy, that's $1,000 can peel off your account in the blink of an eye. Trading the micros, right? You give it a little cushion. Maybe you give yourself $200-$300 cushion, then you switch over to the full size. Say, well, if I give it back, okay, well, at least I was playing with house money. Maybe I can get that up to 600. Doesn't take much in the NQ to make $300, right? You got to be right. There's very little accommodation to be wrong, especially on something like a 1350. You got to be right away, which the best trades usually are. Rarely are you underwater for any length of time. If you are, maybe a little bit at the beginning. Best trades are the ones that you get into and it's just kind of effortless. It just goes. Well, okay. So this guy, I've been talking, teaching, and not really trading. Okay. So is there anything here to trade? Well, I would definitely look at that. If it came back, well, what would you like to see here if we're visualizing? I'd like to see it break this channel, right? With trend line rules, right? We know we would anticipate, right? It's just like the retrace here. You'd anticipate a new extreme, right? We'd go test the high before we get a trend change. I'd rather that happen here. Come back to the McGinley. This is also a great reference. Just before you pull the trigger, wait a second. Where's the McGinley? How close am I? Where's the market in relation to the McGinley? Look at the good trades here, right? The second entries. They're right near the McGinley, right? It's kind of home base for the price action trader. The 21 EMA or McGinley, right? The McGinley's it's just a little better, right? It's just a little better, right? So that's what. So if you put that's what I'm doing with the Gann high low. If you put a 21 EMA and a 21 McGinley, the McGinley will lead it, right? You'll have much better results, right? But you can kind of use the two. That's what I'm doing with that Gann high low. That's a 21 EMA in the Gann high low, right? Which is just tracking the highs and the lows. But it leads, the McGinley leads it. It's kind of a hidden feature that I discovered accidentally. Okay, what's going on in the trend, in the swing structure here? I've got all of this internal swing structure here, but the trend remains up. So this was just a deep retracement. So this low, well, pardon me, this low has a job to do. Going to do its job. If it does, then we're going to sit and look for a retrace down here at the McGinley. Oh, let's see. How about I was going to try and have some other markets up today, but I didn't know I was going to be carrying the load. I thought I had a little vacation day. Boy, that's a mighty strong movement here, right? This is not shorting material, right? When it's, you see candle after candle, right? The delta is all screaming here. This is the end of the day. They're pushing for that, right? Again, look at the distance from the McGinley. Well, they absorbed this pretty well, right? So you had this this value area extended over here. Well, we got a little pause there. What do I have extended? I have POCs for this is, it's a little, you got to swap your colors or you'll forget what's what, right? So that's, I know that's the value area, right? I can see it here. Value area, right? So you'll find that these will be good levels. So if we could come back here, well, this is the launch point, right? So here's the internal, right? Here's the internal launch point. If we can come back here and tap this, right? Anywhere in this range would be area of interest. All right, we can come back in here. I got this, all of this to help me, because you know that's the idea, right? So, are we doing a 3? Right? Are we doing a 3? Are we doing a 3? Right? Are we doing a 3? Yeah, we're doing a 3. I guess I'm so used to saying ABC and Elliott language. Did we do a 3 on the way down? Right now we're doing a 3 on the way up. Right, it's all the market can ever do, ever. You can go sideways, but that will all be part of a bigger 3. Oh, let's see. Well, here's the IB high. We left that long ago. Madonna came today. Oh, I should be careful about how I say that. Madonna showed up today. Oh, let's see what I got here. Blue horseshoe. Nothing new. Okay, I got Skeff again talking to me. Skeff is saying, okay, that's him. All right, I got Simon talking to me too. Skeff still got issues. Okay, all right. So I think we're pretty locked in. That I'm taking it here. Well, okay. I can get something to trade here. I'll take it. That's where I would look. I don't like to leave limit orders. Right? There's too much shit happening. I like to see if offered here, when and what time. Come over here. Anything we can glean from this? Now, when they're not on, right, there's no reason to have all that on, right? Just take that off. Here's our range, right? Pretty clearly defined. I do have these marked here as this liquidity, right? That's each one of those pivots, right? Potential liquidity. And it does, right? You see they grabbed it here, grabbed it here. Oh, looks like they grabbed a little bit here. Right. So you always want to kind of where will they go? Or where can they grab liquidity? Right. You don't spot the liquidity, you are the liquidity. Well, what else do I have on here? I have our trend line indicator, which kind of gives you dominant pivots. This one has just been broken. Well, there's a great example of the trend line. Trend line price action idea, right? That we break the trend line. It's this, okay, you would have had a little trade here, but the premise of the break is to anticipate the push to a new extreme, right? This is where retail new traders sell the break of the trend line. That's not what you want to do, right? Al Brooks has proved that years ago. After the break of the trend line, you're looking for a push to take out that high, right? Which happens to be the weak high. Boy, this was actually a pretty good trade right here. I was probably talking. I remember this. We were looking for it here at the 50 at the IB high. All right. So if it doesn't get there, what would that mean? So right now, look at the range here. You got to keep some perspective. This is the range, right? This is the range we're trading in. Here's the strong low. Here's the weak high. Well, okay. There's equilibrium is really at the IB high. So this low has done its job. This is a retrace, but not a break of structure. Almost. Oh, well, that would have been a change of character, pardon me. Still, that's the target. Fair value gaps, right? So showing imbalance, right? That imbalance is a reflection of the strength, right? So impatient buyers, they're like, fuck it, I'll take it, whatever. I just buy. It's not people. It's buy programs doing it. Look at our tick today. One more useful tool, at least in the ES and the YM. All right, which am I below 400 or above 400 in terms of the potential that I can anticipate? Is there room, right? Is there headroom? Well, here we got plenty of headroom on the upside, right? There's plenty of room for those buy programs to kick. This would be interesting if that failed. You will see that where you'll get this is like a triangle, right? You don't get a new high here. You don't get a new low here. Right, boom, and then one side or the other. This, well, you can see an Elliott count here, right? I don't use these that often, right? But you can see it. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Can we get a 5 here? Nice big impulse. I'll probably work on those a little bit. Elliott's not ideal, right? For shorter term stuff, you're changing the counts too often. It could be useful on the 60-minute, the 4-hour, maybe the 15-minute. Anything from you guys? Nope. All right. Well, that blue candle is just it's the inside bar. Retrace. There's the 3. What I want here is I want a 3. And so I can look at it this way and say, okay, now note, right? There's no red, yellow up here. Nobody up here. Nobody fighting me. Nobody. No software fighting me. No algo up here. Whew, look at this support down here. Holy shit, right? Think about tomorrow. That's plenty of support down there, right? You might be doing some option trading down there where you hold something longer. You could do some 0 DTEs. You better be right. 0 TT, they're like, what was the one where you do it by time? Nadex, where you buy an option and you had to be right over a certain period of time. That's 0 DTs remind me of that. Oh, what else can I show you guys? Well, let's just kind of hurry up and wait here if we're going to get anything. Well, we got another hour. Oh, where's Skeff? I was going to have lunch. Oh, no lunch for me. All right. You got anybody watching, or is it just me talking to myself? Oh, I guess we got 40 of you on there. Well, not much else to say. Yes, on the higher time frame. Not much there. Where are my 15 minutes? That's 2000. Oh, where'd they go? There they are. Well, let's take a peek at that. All right. So sometimes, right? Just okay. First thing. What's the first thing you see here? Oh, Green McGinley. Okay. Well, at least at this time frame here, we're trending higher. Okay, Green McGinley. What's the last thing happened? Break of structure. Where did we just retrace? IB high. Is there anything more significant than the IB high? VWAP, maybe. That's about it. Here's. We should put. Hang on. VWAP, IB high, IB low. Those are the three levels you have to know every day. Right now, our volume profile shows it to you. But then we also have a VWAP indicator. I think it needs a little tweak. I'm going to have him change that a little bit. We know why we pivoted here. You can see the potential Elliott count over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C. Possibly pushing to get a new high there. Trend is down. Why is the trend down? Here's the last break. Well, pardon me. I should note that. You got to make a judgment call. See, this wouldn't be. So the last time I had 2 breaks of structure was down, right? So, and here I have number of breaks of structure needed for a trend change. Well, there's no right answer here. This can be, it's personal preference, right? I tend to be on the 4 hour, I do 1. On these smaller time frames, I'll play around with it. I got to do more than 0. No, this will be trend up, right? Trend up, because this is a single break of structure. Now, but see the downside of that, and I talked about this a little bit in the video the other day, is something like this, right? Where it rips up, uptrend, and then we collapse, right? So, the news event, liquidity grab, whatever you want to think of it, right? So here's one break of structure. Here's the second break of structure. So this, while we do get a break of structure here, the trend was clearly down. Then I got 1, then I confirm it. So it almost doesn't matter, because you're going to look at it. It's up to you, right? If this, how important is this to look at up here? But you could, do a little experimentation with it. Again, you can see it. So it's not like you're like, oh shit, I took a short and the trend was up. It's okay. Reasonably looking at it here, does this look like a downtrend? Well, at least not at this time horizon. This is nothing, right? No, just there was a change of character here. Oh, there's a few examples. Here's another one. Break of structure, then we go up. Is that a trend change? No, that's a liquidity grab, right? Well, there's a classic example, right? What are they doing? The brown box is the Asian session. What are they doing here? Just wicking the highs from the Asian session. Happens pretty consistently. There's a breakout from it. Well, I would be happy to put on a trade if one would set up. Most of it was all this morning. Oh, this would give us a change of character here. Now we'd be dropping right into this fair value gap here, which, okay, it's been mitigated already, right? So let's see. Do I have a? Oh, I don't have. So I guess I have to break before it comes off the chart. So it is unbroken. Here's when we looked at this as to why it stopped there. I don't know if there's much else to do here. That was probably a decent trade. But it's a shallow retrace because here's the low, right? You were looking for it here. Not this if you're using market structure to trade, there are going to be days where it's just not going to be there. It's just not going to give you anything. All right, it's not necessarily bad news. Depends on how you know what your goals are. If it's to fill your day, well, there's always a next trade. You go down to a smaller time frame, you're going to find trades. This is handy right here because what that's telling me, for those of you who aren't familiar with our graphical order flow package, with our zigzag. By the way, this was annoying. I was trying to replicate this on TradingView. There is not a single ATR based zigzag on TradingView. I searched for an hour. I couldn't find a single one. Not one that'll let me define the swings by the ATR. I found that shocking. So who was it? Tortuous Blue Horseshoe. If you knew how to do that, there'd be a market for that. Where was I going here? I lost my train of thought. I don't remember. What do I got? 4184. Oh, sometimes it's kind of curious to see if I use this tool, right, where we are here. It's framed it pretty nicely. This is often a great zone to look for when the edge of the pitchfork intersects with the edge of the channel. You got a slight break here. Once we hit this corner, right, you guys know I've heard me harp on this enough times, right? Once we get a corner that holds 80% that we get there. Got there, reaction. Right, now that wouldn't be surprising to pivot right there, but my guess is there's another kick in the day. It's 3 o'clock. There's time for it. Okay, so if we're looking at this, where are the stops, right? So where would BFIs, whales, where would they be hunting? This I have this. I'm going to change this to candles so you guys can see that a little bit better. It should pop here in a second. There we go. All right, so here it's using this last upswing here before we head down. So that is the target. Now you can look at this and say, boy, is it the weak high? Well, this has already been tapped, right? So you can see it came up here and we mitigated this order block here. This is fresh, right? This is a Madonna supply zone. But let's put it in context, right? So we don't lose track of where it really is, right? So this is a failed. It's not often you see this, right? They get that close to it and they can't get there. Whoa, big drop off. What happened here, right? Stops run. Why? How can you say with absolute certainty? Well, how the fuck do you know that their stops are being run there? Because look what came off of it. Right, they didn't have enough liquidity here. They grabbed that. Boom. Probably the same thing here. That's why you really don't want to ignore a pivot, right? Because a pivot is liquidity, and the market's constantly searching. What's the purpose of the market? To facilitate trade, right? So where's the trading going to be most easy to facilitate? Easily, what I want to say, most easy to facilitate. Where the stops are, right? Where the liquidity is. Well, let's say it's shit. Since I can't, there's nothing really to trade here. I'll just carry on with some of the theory. If we were to get up here, you don't necessarily, it's just personal preference, right? You don't necessarily have to short it here. Yes, you can short it with a very tight stop, right? Stops on the pit, well, you'd be above this pivot high. I'd be a little, the reason I wouldn't do that. So, okay. So think of it this way, right? Just stay with the same idea. Well, there's stops there, just like there's stops here. So if we get that close, you can see how, of course, they see this as well, right? Of course. So if we're up here, right, they could grab this liquidity, grab this liquidity, grab this liquidity up, boom. Wouldn't be surprising at all. So this is in the SMC space. They call this inducement, right? So, what are we trying to induce here? We're trying to induce people to long it here. Oh, breakout traders, right? This is chum in the water, right? Every one of these pivots, like, oh, here, little fishy, come on, take a little nibble. Don't just ignore that hook. It's the weak high, so you'd anticipate this gets broken. Didn't do its job, right? Didn't give us a new low. So it's weak, right? This would be defended. This would be defended. This was a strong high, right? Because it led to this break of structure. But now as we come back to it, you think there's stops up there? Yeah, I think there are. You can see that again. They did it here. They did it here. So where I was going with that is, well, here, this is a good example over here. Let's see if I can get you a perfect one. Well, this isn't bad here, actually. All right. So, here, we'll get these out of here. Okay. So do you see here, there's this little change of character here. So this was the prior high. So now this is a 4,000 tick. So there's a little push up here to grab that liquidity. So then so you might think, oh God, I don't want to, that's the big bar right up there. I don't want to sell that. Well, what do you wait for? Let's see if I can open this up a little bit, right? It's kind of right there in your face. So what you wait for, right? If you want to do this again, more mechanically, and to where you can repeat it, because if you can't repeat, if you don't know why you had a winning trade, you're fucked, right? Because you can't repeat it. Okay, so we get the little grab here. Now, what's the next thing that happens? Change of character, right? That I break this low. Oh, okay. Oh, did I miss the trade? No, that's actually that was the first tell. Like, oh, maybe this retrace has started. So then what happens? Oh, there's the entry right there. Where's the stop? Right here, right? So where's my target? Right here, right? The last low that led to the break of structure. So look at what that risk reward would be, right there. Jeez, let's see if I can do this. You have to do it. You have to start with your stop. There. Okay. I struggle with this one a little bit. Okay. What do we got there? 8.5 to 1. That was your risk reward here, right? So you're risking to the pivot. The market's going up. You're going, oh, come on, man. It's going to blow right through that. Of course, I can't take that. I can't take that. It's just going to keep going. Look at it. It's been going. Of course, it's going to break that high. The more fearful you are of it, or when fearful is the wrong word, you want the healthy respect for it. But if you're a little uncomfortable taking the trade, then take the trade. That's the one you want. If it's logical, I don't mean just take it because you're nervous about it. I mean, is it logical? Did I get the conditions? Right? You want that high to come down, break some structure, then we're coming back to it because it likely left some orders up here. But that's the little tell. Oh, fuck. Oh, took out that low. And you just look, right? Look around pivots, right? You got to kind of train your eye. Look what they do here. Whip, grabbing. Whoop, grab them, down we go. Oh, grab them, down we go. Grab them, up we go, right? That's what they're doing, right? Because they're moving size, right? Here's another one. Oh, you thought it was going short. You thought it was going down. So sorry. Boom. So if we get up here, what are we going to wait for, right? We didn't get one here. We didn't get a change of character. We're going to wait for one. Just that little, took out the low. Okay, something changed. Right? Order flow has changed. Okay, let's get up here and see if I can get a retest, right? And now listen, there are going to be times where it's just going to leave you, right? You're going to get the little break. It's not going to come back far enough. You're up here waiting to get filled up here at the EQ of that range, and it's going to leave you hanging, right? But then don't chase it. Wait for the next time it comes up here, because it will try again. Oh, boy, it's perfect. Can you get a better double, right? We're going to go right into a double bottom into a double top. I'd be surprised, but this is going to be interesting to see what happens here. Right now, you can also, right, this is where if you have a footprint indicator where you can really see what happens there. Let's get you off. Oh, well, this will work. So what do we want to see up here? We want to see trap traders, right? We want to see longs that realize, oh shit, they're on the wrong side of the market, like these guys. Oh shit. Oh shit. Right. No, so if you didn't, and what was the trigger right here, right? Change character. So can we get the same thing here? We get a little push up, grab some liquidity up here, see a bunch of trapped traders, right? Longs that can't see the liquidity, meaning they are the liquidity, right? They can't see it, right? They don't know, or see candidates just don't have experience, or someone hasn't taught them, or they're still in that learning process, right? That we need those people, right? Because if everybody's doing the same thing, nobody's making any money. Every retracement trader needs that breakout trader just as much. We need them, right? Because they provide our liquidity. Remember, you can do this and turn it into a candlestick. If you don't, if you're like, oh fuck, I don't have a screen space, I want to see my candles. Well, there's your candles, right? Some of you may not know you could do that, right? They just go away. All the data down here, you can still see you can't read the detail, right? It's pretty. I would imagine you guys can't read that very well, but I get a candlestick. I got a candlestick chart in front of me. You're thinking, oh God, I want to take the trade. Open it up. Open it up. What do I got here? Can I see? What do I got? Do I have delta divergence? Look at the stack of things right here, right? This is right. See, with footprint, you're not trying to read the individual levels, right? That's trees through the forest, right? You're trying to say, oh, wait a second. Look at all the POCs of all these bars going at the same level, right? So reasonable to think, okay, the market found value here, right? So if we go up or below it, heads up. Another dot, right? Don't ever ignore those. But look at the distance to the McGinley. So what is it we're waiting for here? A retrace. Now, if I was in full size here, the potential here to play for a scalp where you might go for 5 ticks, right? Can't do that with micros, but that's not necessarily a big negative. It just means you have to think a little bit differently. And it actually lends itself to the market structure, because you're going for bigger wins. You're not going for 5 ticks. You're going for 50 ticks. Oh, boy, lose all you guys? Well, yeah, I guess we're still going here a little bit longer. Okay, well, let's see what happens here, right? So this is, what's the size up there? Right, I always like to check the volume. What was I doing up here? 4,000. What am I doing here? 4,000, about the same. Every pivot is a big deal. What happens here? Let's see if we can spot any trap traders. I suppose I could take it if just to demonstrate. Now, okay, look there, right? So there's plenty of headroom here. So this is ideally, you want to catch this kind of a scalp at a pivot with the tick, 600, 700, if it's up over 800, don't even think about it. Just take it, right? Because especially in the full size, you'll get 5 ticks out of it. They just backed out. I'm looking at the order book. They ate a 283. up here. Well, 283 that was sitting there got eaten, but they pulled the rest, right? So it's going to go. It's likely to go through. The resistance got pulled. So let's see what we do here. We got a little bit of drop off in delta, but the bar's not done yet. But these are 2000 tick bars, so the volume is going to be relatively consistent and constant. But when you see a drop, right, that's worth noting. Okay, they look like they're going. Okay. Nothing here says sell it. It only says, boy, give me a retrace so I can get long because there's so much headroom up here. Let's see what our high of the day is. It was earlier in the day. What did we get? 776 was the high, which is actually not that hot. But here we got plenty of room for buy programs to keep buying stocks. All right. Do we want anything here? Well, as I look at this, well, here, I mean, it's right in my face. Like, oh, what should I do next? Well, if it breaks that would be the change of character. Then if I was going to look for a short, if it keeps going here, note, there's an exhaustion print, right? That you kind of want to look for that. And we're one of these runs, like no more sellers, no more sellers, no more sellers, no more sellers, exhaustion. Oh, we had a few here. We're exhausted, right? So you want to see those if it's pushing like this at the lows, because bears are always trying to reverse it. Okay, pretty big push here. We got a pretty good delta. Now we're not blue yet, right? So blue, oh, there we are. All right, let's look at it on a. We got the same thing here. Yeah, we do. All right, trendline rule says if we break, we're still expecting a new high, right? We just stayed self-contained in that channel. Looks different over here, doesn't it, right? It's a nice little feature of the Pats as you get these consolidation. It's like a squeeze. Excuse me. What did they just do? Where's the liquidity? Right, they went through by a tick or two. Oh, I use this. This is one of the features of our toolbar here. I can just highlight that wick. Just grabbed them. Right. So anyone with a stop that was a tick or two on the other side of that, it's uncomfortable. Let's see how they look over here. Now, this, because we're still contained here, that'd be pretty counter trend. What I really want is not the sell up here, although full size, there's probably a scalp there. What I want is the buy down here. We want it to break. We got enough time? We got enough time. Oh, I don't know why I don't have. Oh, I know why, because I don't have auto fibs over here, right? This is just a different look at it here. More stuff. Right. So it's helpful right now. So I come over here. Well, so there's, I've been talking, right? So there's the McGinley leading the 21 EMA, right? Always leading. I got a low volume node here right at the 50, which is kind of appealing. So I've got an order block, a fair value gap, a low volume node, and a measured move here. So this would be area of interest, right? It's, again, I don't sit with a limit order. Stop, right, would be clearly here. So we could look at this and just say, okay, how much is the risk going to be? 10 ticks, right? Don't think dollars when you're trading micros. You're trying to work on technique. Say, okay, well, how many handles can I get out of this? What's my risk? If you can't do it in micros, it's not going to be better in full size, right? So the point of micros is to develop technique and build confidence in your approach and the tools that you're working with. That's the advantage of micros. But on a good day, you can do 400 or 500. You're gonna need to trade multiples, right? You don't want to be you can't do it by the number of trades that you're taking because the fees will kill you. You gotta get some swings that run, and you got to trade more than a 2 lot. You got to be able to add 4, 5, 6, to do it. But it's doable. I'll tell you what, with the NQ, if you're trading 2 and 3 lots, $100 comes fast, right? Up or down, because it moves. All right, so it gets a little harder to see. So you got to get used to, like, okay, well, here's the strong low, here's the weak high, right? You got to get used to spotting that. So anything down here, right? Do we have support down here? Yeah, we do. Well, so what does that mean, right? If we had more time, if this were to break, oh God, right? Yeah, that's where you want to sell it. But right now, the target here. So it's nice to have the POC here as well, and VWAP below. You got to think about the time frame, right? So if this isn't going to sustain, what does the market like to do at the end of the day, right? Come back to the barn, right? Where's the barn at VWAP? I mean, you could look at this and say, well, okay, I'm just in a big trading range, aren't you? I mean, on a 2000 tick, trading range, you sell the high, buy the low. Out of the squeeze, what side do we come? Kind of made that point, right? How nice, right? So now the reason I did that is because when I had this a trio like this, I didn't have a squeeze down here. So I asked him to give me a squeeze on the chart. And then I realized, like, oh, well, what if I put the McGinley with that? I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Something good is happening there. Right, go back. Here, right? See, do you see the beauty of this? If you're trying to, like, fuck, I got to get well here in the last hour, right? It's the whole thing's a squeeze, right? That is no trade zone, no trading. It was kind of a chop monster in the end of the day. But look, right? Where's the McGinley? Right, we're going up. Whoa, we're red. We're going down. This is you got to be careful about that. That can eat $500, like my dog eats bacon treats. Oh God, come here. Something happened, slowed me down. Oh, okay. Here's our retrace. That's it's doable, right? So you might. I'm going to wait here. I might have looked at that, right? So now it would be interesting to see if we can hold the midline here. That's a 34 period in the middle. One thing to note is the width of that's why I like the TDI. So I look at this and go, whoa, that's a lot of vol, right? I mean, where it's easier to work with here, like something like this, where we get a shark fin, where you get narrowing of the bands. Here, I got pretty serious expansion. Kind of surprised to see it. Doesn't look like it would get that rip roaring hot, but that's pretty wide. Oh. Here's the swing. See, I don't have, let's see. Again, I didn't have this all set for you guys to help, but here, so I can look down here, so I know how far it's what this is a reflection. It's a volume zigzag, but it's tied to the same ATR. So for this to go green from red, it means we have to have moved 2 times the ATR. So I can look at this whole swing, looking down below, that that's all been contained within 2 ATR. All right. So if we come back here, oh shit, I should probably put that one on there. We have a little on the zigzag. Oh shit, I bet I have it over here. All right. No, fuck, I guess I don't have it over here. It'll show you where we would go to ATR. I had it up somewhere. I had it up. All right, let's try and get. Okay, so here's the change of character. So what that's alerting us to is that, oh, perhaps the retrace has started because we've had a change of character. Now I want it down here because that's the EQ of this zone, right? Are we following that? right, if I just look here, where's halfway? Where's the equilibrium of that zone? 50%, right? So here I'm buying, if I can buy in the discount, better than buying at the premium, right? Right, just mathematically better to be a buyer down here. If I can buy at the golden zone, even better. If I can buy right here, where's the best possible place I could buy? Right there. Did that often, very often? No. That's halfway, right? And there, we got to, so it's got to clear this, right? You'd have to get on the other side here. So it'd have to be a little bit of a dip like this and come back. Well, so this, it's like the edge. This can be really useful in that, okay, well, where's the momentum, right? So it tells me momentum is obviously right, which it's failing, right? But that doesn't mean it can't kick back around. Let's try and find a good example. Well, this is pretty good if I can get a shark fin at the 50. Oh, it might leave me here. I still, you got to have some discipline. You don't want to chase that. Well, I shouldn't be saying it that way. I wouldn't chase that. Remember the other thing I said, then you got to put these things together in your mind's eye. What is it we're looking for? Threes, right? Here's the 3, right? Going up. Here's the 3. Now, what am I looking for here? I want a 3, right? Give me the 3 and now I'm good to go. Oh man, let's late to the party. Holy shit, Brian. Well, what do we got? 40 minutes. When did you join us? Well, we had some issue. Here's the thing. This is, like, as I was saying, why I do not know why we had problems this morning. I did exactly the same thing. I just didn't have any. I had a doctor's thing this morning. I was getting an MRI. So I raced back here. I had 5 minutes and I just hit click, go, and hoping, right? That was probably the first tell, that it would just work like it did the last time. Of course it didn't. I have no idea why. Did the same thing this afternoon, worked perfectly. Something I had missed wasn't set. All right, you gotta multitask. Okay, where's the tick, right? We're climbing, still plenty of headroom. We've already grabbed liquidity here. They didn't get too far. Here's where we want to buy it, right down here. I should check the NQ too. Let's get you over here. I don't know if there's anything better at nailing the measured moves than a 7-2 Renko. Now, remember, you're going to see it's different, right? Because of the way the bars are shaping here. Boom, boom. Well, and it really, really emphasizes the 3s, right? 3, 3. This using no trade, right? So that's what this red line is here in the devil bands. You don't want to be trading in here, right? You want to trade when we push outside. That's what Skeff is. That's kind of the foundation of his whole approach. I just don't like having the second. It's just me personally, right? He likes them. Once I'm out, I don't need the second band because my target will be, here. Where's the next resistance? But it's kind of a nut when we're in it, right? We're not breaking through. Here's wick, but it's let's see if I can give you a good example here. Well, here I better pay attention over here. That's dangerous, right? Well, here you can see this will tell you when we get a change, when we get when we would get a down bar, right? It's the same thing with the ATRs. But look how we go. Golden zone at a higher degree, swing up, golden zone. Right now, if we are hitting here, I'd want to pay attention to that. Here's the break of structures here as well, although it's a little different because the way the bars are formed, but you can still use it as a guide. You still get strong high and weak, strong low, weak high in this case. You still get that here. Well, everybody's right singing the same song. We're got gap from the average green down here, right? You always want to see it in the OBV, right? That's often where it'll start. And then these are momentum. They'll confirm it. I want a 3, right? I don't want to buy that, even though it may go, right? I want the little squiggle 3. Well, geez, there's a lot of trades this morning. Okay, let's come. What do we got over here? Maybe shit. I'd like to get one off. Well, here's the next trade. If we can get it. Oh shit! I haven't even looked over here. Oh, Bitcoin didn't do much today. I saw a quote from Gary Gensler yesterday that I think it was a headline, an article it was on Bloomberg. Quote, the United States does not need cryptocurrency. Interesting. We don't need it. Well, if it's truly the money of the internet, cross-border, decentralized, I think he might change his mind, change his tune, or he'll be in his grave. We won't be there to see as it dominates the internet. Just my opinion. What do I know? Anything from you guys? All right, you guys are quiet. Could you talk about pitchfork placement? Oh, sure. Blue horseshoe. Okay, well, pitchfork placement is much. You want to use it in kind of in the same way we're looking for 3s. Let's see what I can get over here. Let me see if I can get you a good one here. Hang on a sec. Bear with me here. I'm going to watch this here as well. You quite get. Bear with me. I'll get you a good one here. I mean, that's not bad. I give you a really sexy one. Hang on. Let's see what I can get here. That's a miss. Well, actually, this is a little bit more advanced, but it'll make the point. Okay, there are 4 trading principles. Where are we? Blue horseshoe, you see me? Okay, there's 4 trading principles that, well, there's more than that, but the 4 dominant trading principles that Alan Andrews pioneered with using median lines, right? It's commonly called pitchforks. 4 trading principles, right? Number 1 is that if we, where's my arrow? Right, if we get a pivot here, we have an 80% probability. So we get a swing, we get an internal retracement, right? Meaning it stays above this pivot, right? It can go the same thing, can go right here, although the geometry, the angle of the geometry is not going to be as good. So we get a swing, we get an internal retracement. Ideally, it's right at the golden zone, but sometimes you'll see 786. You have an 80% probability of getting to that median line, right? Now, 80% is not 100%. But so here's one that fails. Well, there are, of the 4 trading principles, trading principle number 4, which is just as important, a failure to get to the median line sets up a move equal to or greater than the move that failed to get there. There's greater than right there. Right. So there's trading principle number 4. And the tell is we didn't make the median line. Wait a minute. I thought I had 80% odds. Well, yeah, you did. But 80 is not 100. There's 20% and trading principle number 4 in your face. Now, one of the nice things, right? Because there are times like if you look over here, shit, that thing come down. I'm going to miss the trade. You look over here. This isn't good. You can't even do it here, right? I'm using our auto range tool. Well, I guess you can, right? But you see here, again, we're missing, right? So it's really too sharp, but what I can do is just go Alt P and now I just have the, oh, it's going to only do one at a time. Let me redraw. Then I just have the channel. So if I were to do this, right, I can see it's too steep, right? The market's going away, but that channel was, so Alt P and now I just have the channel, right? So once I break that channel, oh man, am I going to get there? It might be too long. Still, well, you did do it. The most important thing in a channel is not what's happening inside the channel. It's after the break of the channel. The expectation is that you're going to go get a new extreme here. And there it is right there. Here's a good setup. Right now, I can look at that and tell you that's beyond the golden zone, but that's still a good internal retracement, right? We miss again, right? Here's trading principle number 4. Yet again, equal to or greater than. That's greater than right there. Now today, again, too steep. Let's get these off of there. Probably too steep. This is a really handy little feature, right? So because it's using the same 2 pivots, right? It's just like the trend line is using those, right? So if it's not going to pivot right on it, right, it'll waffle around it. And then you can you factor this in with a little Elliott wave, right? It starts to. This is what I teach over on TDU, right? Trade Devils, right? The other business that I spend the other rest of my time on. Okay, so I got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm perfectly contained here within these sets of median lines. I don't want to miss that trade. Okay. All right, here's a reasonable target. Now again, right? So I can see a clear impulse, right? We don't have to overlap the 1. And here, if I go from 2 through the pivot of 3, high probability zone for a 4 is between the 23 and the 38. Well, there's the 38 right there. Now target up here. It's not an algo target because this isn't an algo that we can identify off the 38, but there's probably, there it is. Right, so there's the golden zone. There's from this lower pivot swing golden zone. There's the target, right? So you'd be hitting the target as you hit the median line, as you hit the supply zone here. Now we're going to get that. Well, now the 80% is already been realized, right? The 80% was from this pivot, right? Realized here. So anything after that is just, it seems to be containing the chart, the price action quite nicely. But the premise of the median lines, whether it's up or down, is just you got a pivot, right? It's these 3. It's the ABC. Oh, we can use we'll just use this one, right? So you can draw it, or you can let the tool do it, right? So now that means, right, with those, right, it's just like, well, now you start to put some. This is what I did. I was like, well, wait a minute, wouldn't that fit perfectly with the measured move? What do I have there? Golden corner pocket. Right, that's Trade Devils original right there. If anybody else is using that language, that term, that idea, that setup, you know where they got it. Same with the 65s. I see 65s all over. 5 years ago, I said, God, they're running the 618. Maybe I'll put the 65 on there. And I said, well, let's call it the golden zone. Now I see it all over the internet. All over. People that I have no idea, never met, know anything about them. Saw one just the other day. He's talking about the golden zone 65. I know where he got it. All right. We didn't miss this trade, did we? No, we didn't. Well, the last trade that was there to be taken, right, is right here. There's a lot of waiting around in trading, a lot of waiting, right? And that's a mixed blessing, right? It's like, okay, you're right, I'm not losing. So this is what happens. You think, oh, well, I'm not losing money, but I'm not making money, right? And then you find yourself forcing a trade because, oh, I'm a day trader, right? So I need to trade. I'd rather have no trades than take sloppy trades or bad trades or no, fuck, I was bored trades, right? That recipe for just handing professionals your money. So you got to wait, right? So we've been waiting. It may just fly off the board here and okay, well, I didn't take a sloppy trade. I didn't take a trade because I was bored. The other one that I have to worry about is that because I've experienced it a couple of Tuesdays ago, the live stream trade, where you're like, well, fuck, these guys are waiting for a trade. I guess I'll just throw one in here, right? And then that's the exact opposite of what I'm trying to teach you to do. It's the live stream trade. You got to wait, right? So you've got to try and imagine, like, well, okay, if nobody was watching here, would I take this trade? Definitely not. So why am I going to take it now? Because I'm not trying to be entertainment. I'm trying to be education. Well, maybe a little entertainment in there, just so you don't get so fucking bored that you'd nod off and fuck this guy and click it off. What we got? 50 of you guys here? Well, it's not bad for a Thursday afternoon. We're running out of time here. The book is quiet, right? So not much in the book to get excited about, other than there's headroom up here, right? So you see there's it's wide open. Where's that's liquidity up there, right? That's where it's going to go. If it can get the legs to get there. It's actually kind of surprising how quiet that book is. Quiet before the storm. Oops, NQ, any better? NQ is always thinner, but that's a big, right? This is like waving a red flag at a bull. Oh, hey, come on up here, right? You can trade up here. Look at all the liquidity up here. Come on up, right? The water's fine. What do we got here? 120 lot up here. 100, 200, right? Well, these got pulled, right? So you can see, these are still active in the book. Here they are. But this is rotation, right? That's what you don't want to trade, because you'll just get eaten alive, especially micros, right? You're in it, it's up, 2 points, and you're, not much you can do. Yeah, well, up to, shit, we're inside. I don't really like to trade the last 15 minutes. Although I guess it's changed now, right? You can trade till 5, but the volume dries up. So if you're in something that you need to run, there better be a reason. I think we're through most of the earnings now, so there's none of that aftermarket rip. Okay, ES doesn't look like it's going to give it to us. NQ. Oh, we're coming out of the squeeze here. I might kind of like to see that. Well, so you look here and say, okay, well, wait a minute though, but the green is above the squeeze, but look, we're under, right? So it's relatively thin. Somebody's talking to me. It's relatively thin down here, but I got to get all the way to the other side, right? This is the river, right? I got to get over to dry land on the other side. I do have a little 3 here, but okay, think about this, right? So that's there. That's me tempted to take a live stream trade. Think about the range that we have here. Oh, it's not bad, actually. So here's the last high low. I thought, shit, I was doing the other shit. I missed this here. So here's the low, here's the high. So I missed the break of structure. I didn't see that because I'm yakking to you guys. Okay, so here's the last low that did its job, that broke its structure, right? So this is the strong low. This is the weak high, right? So this was tradable, right? So you're at the POC. Right now we're a little bit... That'd be a live stream trade. I wouldn't take that. But right here, yeah, I mean, we're not talking about a lot of points here. But interesting, we did not get a true change of character within two ATR. Right, you could call that a little change of character. Maybe there's a last kick. You can see the same 5. 1, 2, 3. Actually, it looks like this might be the 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Going up for a 5. Oh, well. I kind of hope to do some trading here. That actually wasn't bad. Here's the order block you could have traded off of. Actually, shit, I'm watching the ES and the trade was over here in the NQ. Here's the little order block, up, back, squeezy, but POC coming out of that. Yeah, it's not ideal. Excuse me. But that's shallow. It's just barely 2 ATR, and it's enough to create the low to give you the high. Oh, fuck. I'm looking at the wrong market. I guess we're going to miss it. We're going to miss it over here. Well, let's see what the Pats will give us. I just me, right? I don't buy highs. Let's see what they do there. All right, can we learn anything from it? Let's see how they deal with that. Well, do I have? Yeah, I do have it. Okay. So here's the target, these guys up here. Let's put on the footprint. Nice, right? Came from the McGinley back to the McGinley, not quite, but well, one or two things happens here, likely, right? You know, nobody knows, but either they're going to run and gun here, or they're going to grab this, and we're going to head back towards VWAP. Pretty good up day. There's room here, room for that to go. I don't take that. It's tempting, right? It's tempting. You know, live stream trade. Let's see in the book how we look. If any new, well, 4303 has got a 500 lot. That's up. That's got a ways to go. That's up here. I may not have time to get there. Swing, retrace, right? So that's what you'd be after here. Take it if you want, but maybe micros, or if you want to test it, if you're like, I don't know, that guy keeps saying don't take those. I see them happen all the time. Do it in sim for a week. Take the breakouts, see how your numbers look, or back test it. We have a great back tester. Shit, I'm gonna miss it. Well, we can learn a little something here. Let's see.